SEC. She still scored 41 points and 15 rebounds. It's 2021. Everybody's got cameras. You can't tell me you don't have cameras or the footage. And you got 20 interns and 15 students working for you for free in that athletics department over there in Tuscaloosa. You can't tell me that none of those kids can chop up an hour and a half game worth of film to put out a highlight tape for her 41 points and 15 rebounds and put it up on YouTube. Also on the Big Ten Network. You know what they have on their YouTube page? They have highlights from volleyball games. Yo, what is good, guys? So it's been a couple days since I've been on the channel. If you're wondering about the entire Inside the Crib, well, I don't know if you guys been watching the news, but the South has been going through a winter storm over the past couple days. Texas has hit the worst. They've had no power for over 24 hours now and counting. And so my energy company, they texted and emailed me and everything like that yesterday saying, turn your thermostats down as low as you can or whatever on the heat so we can use as less amount of power and electricity as possible. And the power doesn't go out. So that's what I've been doing the past day. And of course, to my luck, the power went out tonight. To you all about something that I came across this weekend. So as you guys have seen, I haven't uploaded the past couple days in the channel. That doesn't mean that I didn't have any ideas. One thing that I really wanted to react to was Jasmine Walker from Alabama. She scored 41 points and had 15 rebounds against Auburn on, I believe it was Sunday. And I wanted to react to those highlights. So I was looking it up, and I literally found nothing on her. She goes to Alabama. It's not a D2 school. It's not a D3. It's not NAIA. It's D1. It's the SEC. And an SEC rivalry game, the Iron Bowl, as they call it in football. With the men's basketball game, those games are usually on ESPN, have been on ESPN the past couple of years when you have guys like Kira Lewis and Colin Sexton, Taya Cooper's little brother, Isaac Okoro. You know, when you have all those guys mixed in with it on the men's side, that's a game that is always on TV. So this game, I mean, I don't know if it was on TV, but there are literally no highlights of Jasmine Walker scoring 41 points and pulling down 15 rebounds against Auburn on the internet. There are no videos. So the only thing that there's a 30-second clip on YouTube. I mean, on YouTube, not YouTube. On Twitter, with just like this, and you know, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in this space for a little bit now. Reacting to women's basketball. I've always had women's basketball as a part of my channel. Women's basketball reactions, like kind of getting real deep into it, isn't something that I really did until like last summer, I would say, on the channel. Before then, I think the only women's basketball reaction I did was I reacted to Liz Cambage a couple years ago when she scored like 53 points when she was still in Dallas. But yeah, kind of building a niche and a following in women's basketball reactions. You know, someone even commented, that was one of my favorite comments. I threw that in a 1K video of there's like, you know, it's refreshing to see a male, you know, react to female basketball highlights like this. And to me, it was like, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. I'm just like, I do reactions to basketball, like that's pretty much the primary reason of the channel. And, you know, I'm like, I always looked at women's basketball as kind of equal, just because, not kind of equal. I just always looked at it as equal because ball is ball. And if you love the game of basketball, you love the game of basketball regardless. And, yeah, man, it's just, I don't know, it's tough. It's just like, you don't really see the inequities in the games and stuff like that until you really get deep into the sport. Like, when I was just, and I still consider myself a little more on the casual side than more on the in-depth, I know everything side of the game. Yeah, it'll probably be a couple of years and stuff before I get there. But just in this time, I've noticed like little things and how difficult it is, like how many channels I have to go to just even get a highlight from a player and everything. Not named Paige Becker's page, you know, you can get her like this. But everybody else, you have to like search for them, and it's a lot. Like there are a lot of players that people want me to react to, that I said that I was going to check out and everything like that and put on the channel, but they don't get game to game coverage. So it's not like I could do like news reactions, if you will, where I react to the most recent game, or I react to a game that was within a week or two ago, and it's just not that accessible with every player. Like with Howard over there in Kentucky, like I tried to react to her, and there was nothing within the last 2 weeks that I could find of her, and she's widely regarded as the best player in college basketball. So it's things like that. And Kaiser Gonchajic, like it was even tough kind of finding her stuff, and she's like one of the rising stars, and obviously she's popping on Instagram and stuff like that and on social media. But I don't know, putting yourself like into the game for real in the culture, and seeing just how big of a gap there is in just coverage and everything, because I'm kind of I'm kind of blinded by being in an area or a state where women's basketball is a big deal. We have couple of teams and stuff. I'm not trying to give too much away, trying not to get in trouble. Anyways, but yeah. So I'm in a state where women's basketball is a big deal over here, and me personally, I've always just liked women's basketball because I like basketball. It comes back to it. And but for this, she said that the Alabama single game scoring record with this game, 15 rebounds to go along with that, against their rivals, against Unique, who's another standout star or standout player in the SEC. And I can't get one highlight from this game. It's not even a video of the full game. And there's like random videos on YouTube and everything. I know people have asked me, I believe Jim Brown asked me one time, he was like, yo, like you gonna watch this whole game, right? And I was like, I'll watch it after I react to it, and then I watch the full game on YouTube, because they upload like all of UConn's games are on YouTube and stuff. So this rant is, or this rambling, because it's not a rant, I didn't do no high pitched voice yet or any like grumble voice. This is just me just talking to you, just kind of just is more of a venting session. This vent is literally just to, I don't know, just pretty much just kind of point out just how big of a gap it is, and then I've been in the bubble of the UConn bubble, right? So like UConn, like so UConn doesn't get coverage on things, and UConn like gets like slighted and stuff like that. Like there's still people out there who don't know who Paige Beckers is, and I saw this column that was like, Paige Beckers is having a great freshman season, but nobody's talking about it. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, Paige is like the biggest thing in basketball. Who the heck doesn't know what Paige Beckers is doing right now in college basketball? Like, I mean, there are only a couple of male basketball players who even rival her popularity this season for keeping it a beam. And you could look at the numbers on Swish just to back that up. There aren't many players who are rivaling her popularity. So, I mean, she's one of the biggest things in college basketball. Anyways, so like a lot of people will look at women's basketball just at a large, right? At large. And, the top of their knowledge would just be UConn. Like, and now I see when people complain about UConn, people complain about the coverage Paige gets. I get it. She deserves all that. She deserves all of that, and UConn deserves all that they get. But now, being in it, I'm understanding it's like, bro, this is Alabama. She scored 41 points, had 15 rebounds against Auburn. It wasn't like it was against, Westchester University, West Southern Community College. This is against Auburn. This is an SEC matchup in February. We're a couple weeks away from, what I'm saying? I mean, neither team was ranked. Neither team was ranked. Okay, all right. But it's still the SEC. She still scored 41 points and 15 rebounds. It's 2021. Everybody's got cameras. You can't tell me you don't have cameras or the footage. And you got 20 interns and 15 students working for you for free in that athletics department over there in Tuscaloosa. You can't tell me that none of those kids can chop up an hour and a half game worth of film to put out a highlight tape for her 41 points and 15 rebounds and put it up on YouTube. This young woman has set the school record at an SEC school for single game scoring. 41 points to go along with 15 rebounds. And you ain't got one YouTube video. What does that say about your department? You know, forget all the other stuff for recruiting, for you. Forget all the outside coverage or coverage of the women's game and blah, blah, blah. What does that say for you, Alabama? Why isn't that on y'all YouTube page? Why is the only thing I see is on the SEC Twitter or the ESPNW Twitter, whoever Twitter it was, is a square 30-second video of her highlights of getting 41 points? Why is that the only thing on the internet, any type of footage of this young woman getting 41 points and 15 rebounds, setting the school record? What does that say about to the recruits? You know what I'm saying? Well, what does that say to the recruits, man? You know, think about the recruits. And if you don't care about the recruits because women's basketball isn't a money sport at your school, then so be it. But for me personally, I think that's just disrespectful, man. I think it's just disrespectful. Alabama, I'm calling you out. Alabama, I'm calling you out. Do better. Do better, Alabama. You know, all the other YouTube channels and people that I'm grabbing highlights from, Pass the Ball, you know, a couple other Film Zone, Highlight Zone, all these channels, you know, Swish, of course, as always, my dog. The Big Ten Network. Salute to the Big Ten. Salute to the Big Ten, you know. Salute to the Big Ten, because them jokers upload everything. I subscribed to the Big Ten when I started reacting to Caitlin Clark, right? They upload everything. They upload the women's basketball highlights from Michigan. They upload the women's basketball highlights from Northwestern. They upload the women's basketball highlights from, of course, Iowa. Then they give me a side little interview with Caitlin Clark and the man from the Big Ten Network or whoever the heck the host is, and he asking her rapid questions. We got a side thing, okay? And they put freshman sensation Caitlin Clark in the title. They're hyping it up. They're promoting their game. They're promoting their conference. When I see, who is it I'm thinking about? Who is it I'm thinking about? I'm trying to think. That's it. That's a Big Ten. That's the Big Ten. Also on the Big Ten Network, you know what they have on their YouTube page? They have highlights from volleyball games. They got volleyball highlights on the channel. You going that deep into it. Not only do they not miss women's basketball from all the teams in their conference, right? Because there's less basketball games. We got a whole pandemic. I don't know if you've been outside. I can't go outside right now because it's snowing, but I don't know if you know. It's a whole pandemic. So we don't even have as many basketball games or sporting events going on because half of these teams be on lockdown, on quarantine, because they keep getting outbreaks of COVID cases. So what is your excuse? What is your excuse? You're not too busy. Come on, man. What is your excuse, SEC? Why is there not a video of her with 41 points, 15 rebounds? You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have uploaded a reaction to it, because this ain't even about me. If I would have uploaded a video on it, you know what it was? Just for the people behind the scenes. I wouldn't even get monetized for it. More than likely, it would get tagged down by the SEC or the NCAA and ineligible, and it might get blocked because I used the SEC's footage. So this isn't even about me. This is literally just me enjoying reacting to women's basketball highlights because that's what I'm enjoying to do, and I want to put the spotlight on the different players, right? That's not just at UConn. That's not just Haley Van. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes, a lot of kids who grew up, right, This is a great chance for women's basketball, a great era for women's basketball to really capitalize on this attention, right? For the first time in that I can remember, in this baller's life, in this overtime generation, you have multiple women's basketball players in the same class who people have followed for years. People have followed AZ Fudd for years, Ozzy Fudd for years. People have followed Paige Bakers for years on the internet. People have followed Haley Van Lith for years on the internet. Slam got little documentaries following her. Overtime got documentaries following these girls. You know, so this is the first time you had someone who was like a Zion, who was like a Trae Young, who was like a Mac McClung, who was like a Isaiah Washington, Jelly fan, who was like all of these social media prep stars, right? On the women's side. For the first time, y'all had a whole batch of this coming into college. Okay? All right? So all these kids who grew up watching Overtime and the Overtime Challenges and watching Paige Bakers and Haley Van on Overtime all the time and Slam and Bleacher Report, they grew up watching them in high school. So now, of course, they want to watch. So you got more eyes on the college women's basketball game, right? This is your opportunity to capitalize and showcase not just Paige and not just Haley Van, but everybody. So when you have someone at a large school in the SEC, in a divisional rivalry, in an in-state rivalry, the Iron Bowl, right? The first thing that pull up when you look that up, Alabama, Auburn, I believe, if I'm mistaken, I apologize, charge it to my heart, not my head. Charge it to my head, not my heart. I believe it's a women's basketball fight that they had a few years ago. From AL.com uploaded it. That's the first thing that pops up when you look up Alabama, Auburn women's basketball. It's a little scuffle they got into a couple years ago. How about something positive? How about we spotlight something positive? 41 points here, 15 rebounds in a rivalry game. Biggest game in the state. Two biggest programs in the state. How about we show the people that, right? I believe it was Tamaria Key. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Tamaria Key. She had a triple-double on the night that Paige almost had a triple-double. Of course, Paige get all the attention because Paige also went like 6 for 7 from the field that night and ended up with 23 points. You know Paige, she's just ridiculous. She not a human. But yeah, you know, and everybody was like, you know, that's great for Paige, but Tamaria Key, you know, at Tennessee had a triple-double. You know what I'm saying? Give some props to her. Give some shout-outs to her. I believe I shouted it out in my reaction to Paige that day or whatever, or whoever I was reacting to. But, you know, I believe when I looked up the Tamaria Key, I don't even think I could find the highlights of a triple-double. Like an individual video of her triple-double. Now, that was a little better because it's Tennessee, and Tennessee gives a darn about their women's basketball program. But, you know, so I think they did have single game highlights and everything like that, and they had our post-game interview up there. But I don't know if they had an individual just, you know, here's T. Key's highlights from a triple-double, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. And I dealt with this back in the WNBA, too, in the Wobble season. You know, I wanted to react to Taya Cooper. Taya Cooper was buzzing. You know what I'm saying? She went viral. So everybody looking at Taya Cooper, she the biggest thing. Shoot. I wanted to react to Taya Cooper's highlights to show people how cold she was. I know how cold she is. I was watching a lot of them Sparks games live, but I wanted to react just to have it on my channel. I mean, and then also the fact that she was popping, show people, you know, why she popped, because she could play. There's a reason why I call Lil Cooper over there in Auburn Taya Cooper's little brother. Because she can play. She can hoop. She was on True Life. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't find any highlights, bro. I couldn't find any highlights on YouTube. Once again, the only thing I found was a little 30-second clip, square on Twitter of her season highlights that someone, I guess, that is in our camp made, you know what I'm saying, and she retweeted it. And now, I believe, months later, her WNBA highlights are out there, but, bro, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. The disparity, the difference is crazy. It's out of whack. And I'm not stating anything new here. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I just wanted to draw some attention to it and vent on it for a little bit. If you're new to the channel, man, this is the road to 2K subs. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay warm, stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, all that good stuff, so that we might see a complete basketball season. We might see March Madness and stuff, man. But yeah, man, stay warm if you're from the South, because us Southerners not used to this here. Till next time.